The 1961-1962 NBA season was the 16th season of the National Basketball Association. The season began on October 19, 1961 and ended on March 14, 1962. The Chicago Packers entered the league, bringing the number of teams to 9. The NBA schedule was expanded for the third consecutive season. This time it went from 79 games per team to 80. The average attendance for the season was 6,055 fans per game, with the Boston Celtics leading the league in attendance with an average of 9,617 fans per game. This season is notable for having some of the most impressive individual season statistics ever. A number of records were set this season, some of which stand to this day. This year witnessed the first occurrence of a player averaging a triple-double throughout an entire season, when Oscar Robertson averaged 30.8 points, 11.4 assists, and 12.5 rebounds per game. On March 2nd, 1962, Wilt, Chamberlain, and his Philadelphia Warriors were playing against the New York Knicks, who were one of the worst teams at that time, entering that game with a 25-45 record. And to make things worse, his matchup at the center position had flu symptoms and ended up playing just 20 minutes. So Cleveland Buckner, a 6'9" rookie, had to cover Wilt. It was set up for a historic night. Chamberlain shot 36 for 63 from the field and went 28 for 32 from the free throw line, scoring 100 points and a 169-147 victory. It still stands as one of the greatest individual feats in sports history. Alright guys, let's check out what the team records were looking like for this season. The Boston Celtics led both the league and the East with a record 60 wins and 20 losses. Following them were the Philadelphia Warriors, 49 wins, 31 losses, the Syracuse Nationals, 41 wins, 39 losses, and the New York Knicks missing the playoffs with a 29-win, 51-loss season. The Los Angeles Lakers led the West with a 54-win, 26-loss record, followed by the Cincinnati Royals, 43 wins, 37 losses, and Detroit Pistons, 37 wins, 43 losses. The St. Louis Hawks finished with 29 wins, 51 losses, and the Chicago Packers, 18 wins, 62 losses, leaving them both unable to make the playoffs. Let's see who the season leaders were for the season, as well as dive into that All-Star game. The points leader of the season was Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia Warriors, amassing 4,029 points, averaging 50.4 per game. The assist leader was Oscar Robertson of the Cincinnati Royals, getting 889 assists over the course of the season, averaging 11.4 per game. The rebounds leader of the season was Wilt Chamberlain, 2,052 rebounds on the season, averaging 25.7 per game. The 1962 NBA All-Star Game was played on January 16, 1962 in St. Louis, Missouri at St. Louis Arena, with the West beating the East 150-130. Local favorite Bob Pettit won the game's MVP award. The Eastern Conference stars were Tom Henson, Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, and Sam Jones of the Boston Celtics, Richie Guerin, Willie Naws, and Johnny Green of the New York Knicks, Wilt Chamberlain, Paul Arizin, and Tom Gola of the Philadelphia Warriors, and Dolph Schayes, Hal Greer, and Larry Costello of the Syracuse Nationals. They were coached by Red Auerbach of the Boston Celtics. The Western Conference stars were Bob Pettit and Cliff Hagan of the St. Louis Hawks, Walt Bellamy of the Chicago Packers, Gene Shue and Bailey Howell of the Detroit Pistons, Oscar Robinson, Wayne Embry, Jack Twyman of the Cincinnati Royals, as well as Elgin Baylor, Frank Selvey, Jerry West, and Rudy LaRusso of the Los Angeles Lakers. They were coached by Fred Schaus of the Los Angeles Lakers. Looks like the Celtics and the Lakers really were balling out, had 4 All-Stars apiece. What does that mean? I don't know yet, but let's get into the award winners of this season. The MVP of this season went to Bill Russell of the Boston Celtics, averaging 18 points per game, 4.5 assists per game, and 23.6 rebounds per game. The Rookie of the Year was Walt Bellamy of the Chicago Packers, averaging 31.6 points per game, 2.1 assists per game, and 19 rebounds per game. The NBA First Team consisted of Elgin Baylor of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 38.3 points per game, 4.6 assists per game, and 18.6 rebounds per game. Bob Pettit of the St. Louis Hawks, averaging 31.1 points per game, 3.7 assists per game, and 18.7 rebounds per game. Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia Warriors, averaging 50.4 points per game, 2.4 assists per game, and 25.7 rebounds per game. Oscar Robertson of the Cincinnati Royals, averaging 30.8 points per game, 11.4 assists per game, and 12.5 rebounds per game. Jerry West of the Los Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 30.8 points per game, 5.4 assists per game, and 7.9 rebounds per game. The All-NBA second team consisted of Tom Henson of the Boston Celtics, averaging 22.1 points per game, 2.1 assists per game, and 9.5 rebounds per game. Jack Twyman of the Cincinnati Royals, averaging 22.9 points per game, 2.7 assists per game, and 8 rebounds a game. Bill Russell of the Boston Celtics, averaging 8.9 points per game, 4.5 assists per game, and 23.6 rebounds per game. Bob Cousy of the Boston Celtics, averaging 15.7 points per game, 7.8 assists per game, and 3.5 rebounds per game. And Richie Guerin of the New York Knicks, averaging 29.5 points per game, 6.9 assists per game, and 6.4 rebounds per game. Let's get into our playoffs breakdown. The Eastern Division semifinals featured the third-seeded Philadelphia Warriors winning over the second-seed Syracuse Nationals 3-2. The West semifinals saw the 3-seed Detroit Pistons winning 3-1 over the second-seed Cincinnati Royals. The Eastern Division finals saw a tight 7-game series with the 1-seed Boston Celtics managing to win over the Nationals in Game 7, 109-107, to make it to their 4th consecutive finals. The West Division finals had 1-seed Los Angeles Lakers advancing to the finals, winning the series over the Pistons 4-1. Spa World, here we are, the 1961 to 1962 NBA Finals, where we had the Boston Celtics versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's get into it. This year's NBA Finals began on April 7th, 1962. This was the Celtics' 6th straight trip to the finals. It was the second time in NBA history and the most recent finals in which the series was decided by overtime in Game 7. The only other final series decided in overtime in the 7th game was the 1957 Finals. The Celtics took home Game 1 in a 122-108 win. The Lakers came back the next day to tie up the score, winning the game 129-122. Back in Los Angeles, the Lakers managed to clutch a win over the Celtics 117-115 after Jerry West stole a Sam Jones inbound pass and hit the game-winning buzzer beater. Behind Bill Russell's 21-point, 22-rebound double-double, the Celtics tied up the series 2-2, winning 115-103 in Game 4. Game 5 saw Elgin Baylor set a finals record for an individual scorer in a game with 61 points. The Lakers took the win on the road 126-121. Game 6 in LA was won by the Celtics 119-105. Bill Russell played the entire game and had a 19-point, 10 assists, 24 rebound triple-double. In the Game 7 thriller, Frank Selby of the Los Angeles Lakers had a chance to end the Boston Celtics finals win streak at 3. With seconds remaining and the score tied, Selby, being guarded by Bob Cousy, found himself open when Cousy left him momentarily to double-team Jerry West. When Hot Rod Hundley passed Selby the ball, he had a good look at an 8-foot shot. It bounced off the rim. The game went into overtime and Boston prevailed 110-107. Leading them to their 4th consecutive finals victory. Bill Russell set a record for most rebounds in a quarter in a playoff game with 19. Spa World, that's wraps on this episode of NBA Rap, the 1961 to 1962 NBA season. I'll see you guys next time. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button, ring that bell, subscribe, all that good stuff.